Peace everybody, back with another video. This is what grocery stores are really hiding with pre-marinated meat. And as you can see here in the screenshot is a bunch of steaks. So, and they are cooked or they could be pre-marinated to be cooked. Nobody likes eating a flavorless, a chop or a rack of ribs that are begging, for some sauce and seasoning. Marinating meat can inject some great flavor and extra juiciness into a cut of meat, and there is definitely a right and a wrong way to do it. However, it's true that not everybody has the time to whip up a marinated themselves before cooking a piece of meat. Yeah, nobody does like flavorless meat. It just doesn't taste right. So you got to put all kinds of seasoning on it and everything. But there is a wrong way and a right way to do so. However, it's true that not everybody has the time to whip up a marinated themselves before cooking a piece of meat. So there's a lot of people that don't have time for it because you got your job, then you got your little ones, then pets and whatever else you got to deal with, bills, everything. Grocery stores realize that their shoppers are busy folks, and they attempt to simplify the meat marinating equation by selling pre-marinated packaged meat. All that's left to do is take it out of the wrapper and throw it on a grill. But is this pre-marinated meat any good, and is it worthy of serving at your dinner table? Um, yeah, grocery stores are realizing that there are busy people. But of course, they're selling pre-marinated packaged meat, and all the shoppers they have to do is just take it out of the package and just throw it on the grill for it to be cooked. But is this pre-marinated meat any good, and is it worthy of serving at your dinner table? So now you got to think about it. Is it worth serving at your dinner table or not? You have to think about it first before you buy that pre-marinated meat. There's a woman at a store shopping for meat, and she's wondering if she'll get it or not. So it all depends on what meat that she probably will get. Grocery stores only have a small window of time to sell perishable goods before they have to discard them for food safety reasons. It's a human survival instinct to avoid eating food that smells or looks like it could be spoiled, and meat is no different. Perhaps you've been shopping for chicken cutlets or beef cuts and noticed that some don't appear as vibrant in color as the others. This doesn't mean the meat is unsafe to eat, but it's likely nearing its sell-by date and is priced to move. Yeah, so grocery stores do have a very small window of time before selling perishable goods. And if it's not sold by then they have to throw it out for safety reason because they don't want their customers to get sick or anything like that. And of course, it is good to avoid eating food that smells or looks like it could be spoiled. So if you feel as though something is not right, don't buy it. Just let them throw it out. And that'll be that. And meat is no difference. Perhaps you've been shopping for chicken cutlets or beef cuts and noticed that some don't appear as vibrant in color as the others. So yeah, so there are some meats that do have vibrant colors, and there are some meats that don't have vibrant colors because it's starting to lose their color and it's starting to spoil in a way, and it is definitely unsafe to have spoiled meat. But it's likely nearing its sell by date and is priced to move. So yeah, so they're trying to move it as fast as they can get it after the butchers cut it up in the back and everything else. Butcher James Pesker shared with Dr. Oz that grocery stores realize this meat is a harder sell with shoppers, and the store may opt to pre-marinate the meat as a way of disguising the discoloration. Yeah, so you got a butcher named James, um, Pesker. He has shared with Dr. Oz, and I'm telling you right now, Dr. Oz is a whack job for real. That grocery stores realize that meat is a harder sell with shoppers. So yeah, they're trying to sell this meat as fast as they can for the shoppers, and it is harder. And the store may opt to pre-marinate the meat as a way of disguising the discoloration. So you never know what the butchers will be doing in the back with the meat after they cut it up and everything. So they'll disguise it, they'll pre-marinate it and everything else. Nobody's going to sell you rotten meat knowingly, Pisker said. It's bad for business and it's not going to work out very well in the long run. Yeah, it is bad for business. If you're selling rotten meat and everything, yeah, and of course it's not going to work out at all because you never know what else could happen. Anything could happen. So this is why the butchers want to pre-marinate the meat, and they want to sell it so they could disguise the discoloration and everything else. Mostly what is being hidden is oxidization and a little bit of colorization. Perhaps that's a bit deceptive of grocery butchers, but Pisker points out that it's nothing that's going to harm the flavor or you as a consumer. Yeah, so they mostly it is being hit with oxidization and a little bit of colorization. So that's it is being disguised as obviously. It is a deceptive of grocery butchers, but Pierce points out that it's nothing that's going to harm the flavor or you as a consumer. So it's not going to hurt you really at all. So you just have to be careful what meats to buy and look at the dates on them and everything else. And you know, it's good to look at the dates on them. And here is the meat packages that are pre-marinated. When you buy pre-marinated meat, you're paying for convenience. There's nothing wrong with that, but it may not always be the greatest bargain. Yeah, so it's not always the greatest bargain. It all depends on what you're getting. Of course, when you buy pre-marinated meat, you're paying for the convenience. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not always the greatest bargain. Yeah, so you gotta see which one do you really want. One review advises against buying pre-marinated meat because of the high markup that could just be a lot of liquid marinated in a bag. While the reviewer said the end result tasted great, they paid almost 4 times the price for what they would have paid if they'd simply bought a bottle of marinade and done it themselves. Plus, the meat wasn't even marinated evenly. Yeah, so if you were to buy a bottle of marinade, you could do it yourself. But the butchers at local grocery stores, they'll do it just to save time for the shoppers to marinate the meat themselves. So this is why they doing it. And of course, that could just be a lot of liquid marinade in a bag. So whatever is in the bag is what you get. And of course, the meat wasn't even marinated evenly. So when you marinate your meat, you got to marinate every angle of it all over, not just one, not just leaving this and this unmarinated. You got to marinate the whole meat. Sirius isn't a fan of pre-marinated grocery store meats either, unless the package is labeled when it was marinated. You don't have any idea of knowing how long it's been in that bag, and over time, the acids in the marinade can cause the meat fibers to break down to mush. Yeah, and it's true, it can break down to mush if it's left in the bag like that. Of course, the acids in the marinade can cause the meat fibers to break down, so it will lose its flavor and everything else. Um, Unless package is labeled with when it was marinated. So you got to look at the date when it was marinated. Meanwhile, the salt can work as a curing agent. None of this makes for a tasty finished project. So yeah, you could have the salt can work as a curing agent. So you can put salt on it and everything. Like so many things in life, if you want it done right, it's best to do it yourself, marinating meat included. Yeah, so if you want it done, you have to do it yourself to marinate your meat. Um, Even though the butchers can do the marinating and they put it in a bag, and of course the acids, yes, they are breaking down the meat fibers. So it's best to do it yourself, and plus look at the date on it too, because it's very important that you look at the date on the package of when it was marinated. Say, for example, it was, I don't know, let's go with December 1st of 1999. It's just an example. If that meat was, if that pre-marinated meat was packaged that day, then you know when it was. But now you just have to keep an eye out for the dates on it. Leave your comments below. I am out.